The other day I got home from a long day of volunteering at the homeless shelter and sat down to relax and read a book. Ugh, no one's going to believe that. The other day I stumbled home after a long night of binge drinking by myself and sat down to watch a Marvel movie. What was that noise? Whose footprints are these? Spooder's Man, to be exact, because best hero. And I got to this bit here where Birdman slowly realises the boy his daughter will be awkwardly slow dancing with is in fact... Spider-Man, Spider-Man. He stops at a red light, slowly puts the pieces together, and as soon as his suspicions are confirmed, green.
Good old Spider-Man.
Man, the Russo brothers fucking invented cinematography. I like when art shit plays to its strengths, you know? Movies are great at visual storytelling, books are great at... words, I guess. I don't know, I can't fucking read. And video games are great when they're using the gameplay to make a point. Anyway, segues are hard. Shovel Knight! Now, before I go any further, I am going to be talking about the ending of this game, so this is your spoiler warning. Shovel Knight is all about saving your best good friend Shield Knight from a spooky 8-bit castle, and Shovel Knight has this recurring dream where she's falling from the sky and you have to catch her. There's a writing principle known as the rule of threes that suggests characters or events are more satisfying when they come in sets of 3. Friends, Romans, countrymen, ghosts of Christmas past, present and future, Ed, and Eddie. I mean, that was a lazy joke, but you might have exhaled out of your nose a little bit because it follows the rule of threes. So no one needs to tell you how much Shovel Knight cares for her because you've had to experience it yourself 1, 2, 3 times. Then when you catch her for real, she helps you against the last boss. And her skill set is so perfectly designed to complement your own, it almost feels like you've been playing the whole game with one arm tied behind your back without her. You're not just told that Shield Knight and Shovel Knight make a great team, you feel it through the gameplay. Also, funny enough, one of the secret bosses in that game is Kratos from God of War, which also has a great example of storytelling through gameplay. Yeah. How's that for a fucking segue? So, at about the halfway point through the game, your son, Boy, pulls a whitey and you have to leave him at this nice lady's house to listen to some lo-fi hip-hop beats and sleep it off. Now, usually in combat you'd press circle to Boy, but this section of the game when he's not with you, that whole quarter of your face buttons just isn't in use.
4 minus 1, that's 3, quick maths.
Kratos doesn't have to monologue about how much he misses Boy or anything, because you do.
I've abandoned my boy!
Lisa the Painful does a similar thing where your combos have 4 attacks, but if you lose one or both arms, that's nerfed down to 3 and 2 hits in a combo respectively. But there's actually an entire game based solely around the idea of telling your story through the controls. In the redundantly titled Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, you control 2 brothers called Nae and Maya, with one side of the controller each, making it look as if each brother is having one half of a full stroke. Now, the little brother can't swim because of tragic backstories, so whenever you need to cross some water, you have to have him grab onto the older brother so that they can both get across. Later on in the story, the older brother, spoilers, dies, and you have to play the rest of the game with just the small fella. You're so used to moving both guys at once, and now literally half the controller is going completely unused. I kept instinctively moving both analog sticks out of reflex, and it would take me a second to realise. Kind of like how after a breakup you might accidentally set the table for 2 from time to time. It's using the controls as a metaphor for how loss affects us, and it makes me feel sad in my bones. Oh man, I don't know how many cans it's going to take to get over this one, but so far it ain't 9, know what I'm saying? But the real emotional wedgie is when the little brother comes across a river, or a lake, or perhaps a lagoon. I'm still not quite sure what the difference is. He has to cross it, but there's no way to get across because he can't swim, and his only method of buoyancy just cha-cha real smoothed his way from this mortal coil. But then you start using the deader brother's side of the controller, and the kid starts to clumsily swim because even though your brother is dead, he'll always be with you, and... I'm gonna need 2 cans for this one. I feel like fucking Lara Croft, just dual-wielding cans. Akimbo cans. This whole game is just built up for that one moment, and it hits the high note using nothing but gameplay, and it's fucking dope. Wait, no. Tragic. I always get those 2 mixed up. But gameplay isn't always just about the controller. In fact, it mostly takes place in the cyberverse with teraflops and gigahertz. Take Splinter Cell Convictions, where Sam Fisher learns that... spoiler. Everyone's been lying to him and his daughter isn't dead, and he gets super pissed off. You get infinite mark and executes... Mark and execute. Execute. What the fuck? Why can't I say execute? You get infinite, you made me mad, so now get killed by dad. So you can make the bad guys suffer the full wrath of Cortex as you storm out of the building like a middle-aged white lady who's just been refused a refund on an item she bought at a different shop. Basically, your guy goes full-blown mama bear, and you get to experience that right along with him by gaining the ability to pretty much instantly kill anything dumb enough to exist within a 6-mile radius of you. That's storytelling through gameplay. And yes, I am going to cram in a title drop over halfway through the video. Fuck you, you're not my real dad. Another less in-your-face example would be in The Last of Us, where as the story progresses, Joel eventually trusts Ellie with a gun, and so as the relationship grows stronger, so do you, by way of more efficient murder. So far all these examples have been set pieces, but developers can also use general gameplay to invoke themes or encourage particular playstyles. Tank controls are easy to mess up in stressful situations, mimicking how easy it is to freeze when you panic in Resident Evil. The way this bit where you're getting sucked into the vortex thing isn't just a cutscene, and how you yourself have to hold down the grab button in a hopeless attempt to escape the suck at the end of Absolute Units, the game. Or the deliberately unwieldy aiming to discourage combat in, Metal Gear Solid. Oh, God damn it. If you want to shoot someone in these games, first you gotta hold R1 to go into first person view, then press and hold the square button to ready your gun, and then, since you can't move while aiming, you might have to hold down L2 or R2 to get a better angle, and then release square to fire, and then immediately hold square again to keep your gun ready. That's like 16 different button presses to do what would usually be as simple as pointing and clicking.
I'm down, they're coming in, they're in the building,
It's all up to me.
Yep, good luck.
Metal Gear Solid 4 switches to a more traditional over-the-shoulder third-person shooter control scheme, which makes it much more feasible to shoot your way out of a situation, because that's what it feels like the gameplay is telling you to do. There's even a gun shop in the pause menu that you can use to purchase a fucking rocket launcher on the fly. You know, one of them tactical espionage rocket launchers. The gameplay can sometimes feel at odds with everything else. They even go as far as to flat out ask you to play it like a stealth game.
I hope everyone enjoying it, and I hope everyone finds their way to play it, because there's various ways. My recommendation is try just sneak everything through. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, definitely. Play it as a sneaking game,
Yeah,
not as a straight up action game. You're gonna enjoy it.
yeah, it is.
Games like Devil May Cry don't need an in-game podcast begging you to try and look cool while you play, because the game makes you want to prioritize looking cool with the style rank, and rewarding stylish fights with more red orbs, which you can use to unlock new moves that let you do more dope shit. Wait. No, that one is dope. I thought it was a huge missed opportunity that the Spider-Man game didn't have a system like that. It would incentivize you to mix up your attacks, and maybe higher skill ranks could unlock different quips, and generally encourage you to be more Spider-Mans. There's a million different ways to do this stuff effectively, from controller gimmicks to situational gameplay, or even just general mechanics that fit the themes of the game. But what are some of you guys' favourite examples of storytelling through mechanics? I didn't even have time to touch on things like Bioshock's Would You Kindly thing, or how literally everything in Silent Hill 2 is representational, such as Pyramid Head being a metaphor for James Sunderland's innate fear of Egyptians. So let me know some other good examples in the comments. Also, after talking about the PTSD I got from Hishan kicking my ass as a 4-year-old in my last video, people keep sending me this image of Meteor B Dragon on Twitter out of House of Regan. So, please stop doing that. I do consider it cyberbullying, and I will not hesitate to cry in the shower. Anyway, that's about it for today, so join us next time when our topic will be the recent rise of step-sibling pornography. More specifically, what the fuck?